YouTube? It's your boy, Super King 64, and I'm here to bring you a Mighty Morphin review. What up, guys? What did I think of the Power Ranger movie? As a hardcore fan, I've seen a lot of Power Rangers. You know, I grew up with them. That's my childhood. So yeah, I did catch the Power Ranger movie, first showing on Friday. I gave it some time to process and look at some reviews as well to see if they can relate to my opinion on it. Some people did, some people didn't. So it seems like this is a hate it or love it movie, and I feel like after I saw the movie, I feel like I fell right in the middle. I like it. It was alright. So in this review, I'm going to tell you the good, I'll give you the bad, and I'll let you know before I talk about spoilers, so you ain't got to worry about any of that. So yeah, like I said, I thought this movie was alright. And depending on who's watching it, it's going to vary. Because this movie tried to reach out to all audiences, and they succeeded in a lot of ways, and they failed in a lot of ways. I mean, for kids, I think they're going to love it. My niece loved this movie. For people that don't know anything about Power Rangers and didn't care before, then this is a good introduction to the world of Power Rangers. Alright guys, it's good time. There's great character development. They really give you the backstory on all 5 Rangers. And yes, if you pay attention to the long dialogue, which is a double-edged sword, you start to care for them. You actually give a shit which does something when they eventually go to battle. You are invested. Humor was good, edgy PG-13. Never would I think a Power Ranger would curse, but I mean it is within the PG-13 claim, so I can't be mad at them, but it is a first. The Ranger suits at first, I hated the Iron Man look, but for what it is, I liked the way it looked in the big screen. It was better than what I expected. You know, what can I say? Those Ranger suits grew on me just like they did on the cast. Alpha 5, which I hated leading up to this movie, did a complete 360 for me on the big screen. He looked amazing. He did it was a great job, you know, perfect blend of humor and look and very modern Alpha. Even that annoying quote that he had in the past never really bothered me, the ay ay ay, but you know, it came off good, and he was a welcome addition to this movie. I am the danger, Walter White. I mean Zordon. He was a cool modern take on it, onto the big screen. Even though he came across as a cool looking pin toy. Saban, that would sell big. That would sell big. Just saying. Just saying. You're welcome. Alpha. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitude. These guys live up to that line literally. I mean, these teenagers, they do have issues. They're not the campy kids we once remembered. And this approach is actually refreshing for the overall story. So, it got me interested. I like the new reimagined Rita. Some people claim she's over the top, and at times, I can agree with them. But overall, I enjoyed her performance, and she really does come across as evil, even if she has some silly moments. Alright, that's it for the good. Now it's time for the bad time moments. So, if you find product placement annoying, this movie, there's going to be one in particular. And for those who saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's going to get on your nerves. Some people found it really annoying, like myself. Other people found it hilarious. It's all in perspective. I mean, either way, I don't think it ruins the movie, but it's still product placement. We'll touch more on that on the spoiler section. I hated Goldar in the trailers, and my feelings did not change watching this movie. I mean, I know he doesn't have to be identical to the original Goldar. This is a fresh take. I get it. But if he had a face, and he had a voice, and he just wasn't a gold Ivan Ooze, the back and forth between him and Rita would have made for some really good character development, and I feel like it was a missed opportunity. Like the trailer shows, Goldar fights Megazord, and I gotta be honest, the Megazord is too much Transformer-ish, Pacific Rim-ish, and I really wish that it was just more colorful like the bots from the past. Let's be honest, the putties were TMNT rock soldiers. I mean, I like the look, but they just weren't putties. Boo! Fighting a pile of rocks is a bit ridiculous, but it's a kid movie at heart after all. Speaking of the rock soldiers, I mean, I wasn't a fan of the superhuman powers that they had in the trailers without the suits. But if you're gonna fight a pile of rocks and boulders, I guess it balances out the battlefield and it's something new I just have to get used to. The movie definitely needed more action, but with 6 movies in the works, we'll eventually get there, and hopefully we don't get screwed out of the sequels. Maybe it's all the teenage drama that this movie does, that it feels like it could fit into the CW lineup, like the Dawson's Creek Rangers, instead of the Saved by the Bell Rangers we all knew and loved. I mean, overall, it's still good, it's just something to point out. There might be some false advertisement from the marketing team here, because there were some good parts in the trailer that didn't make the final cut in the movie. And maybe it was for storytelling purposes, but, you know, that's okay. I mean, you're not gonna get your Twilight romance here between Kimberly and Jason. It's not gonna happen. And that's fine by me, because I'm a Green Ranger fan anyway. Evil. As always, I'm gonna keep it real with you and blunt. If you like a lot of action in your movies, not a lot of it is here. So you might as well wait for part 2 and binge watch this for the matching story element. Before we go into the spoiler section, subscribe, smash the like button, drop a comment. If you haven't seen the movie, go out and see the movie, then come back and drop a comment. Keep the conversation going, alright? It's spoiler time! Cringe. Krispy Kreme was the annoying product placement I was talking about earlier. Somehow it ended up in the center of the story during the climax of it, and it just had me thinking the entire time, how much did Krispy Kreme pay for this? Did they pay for the whole movie? Because it was really the center of the movie for a while. Some people found this hilarious. Thankfully, I was able to look past it, but barely. The sad thing is, you can take the parts of the Krispy Kreme in this movie and make a Krispy Kreme commercial. It's really that bad. But luckily, it doesn't ruin the movie. It's just an annoying part that you will always remember. It's a joke. This movie had a lot of fan service, but it wasn't perfect, because I feel that they missed Bulk and Skull. I mean, they had their chance. They had a bully that was bothering Billy in the beginning, and you had the 2 girls that was giving Kimberly a hard time. Their parents, either one, could have been Bulk or Skull, and it would have tied in and it would have been a nice nod. But they missed their opportunity there. After 10,000 years, Rita is finally free. No. After 10,000 years, we finally find out that Rita was the Green Ranger. Mind blown. That concept is sick, and I'm happy they went with that. And I just wish we had more backstory on Rita and how she got her powers to begin with. More of that. But at the same time, it's a 2-hour movie, and they covered all 5 Rangers perfectly. And, you know, I can't be mad at them. And it was confirmed at the very end, post-credits, that Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, is confirmed for the sequel, and it's not going to be Rita. So thank you. Thank you for that. Is it just me, or did the Tommy Oliver scene remind you of this?
Bueller.
When Billy died, that really pissed me off. I mean, the story out of nowhere just turned really dark. And I'm like, this is a kid's movie too. Did you really have to go there? You're breaking all the stereotypes down. You know, after that thing you did in the past with poor selection of color choices and being, you know, that stigma of Power Rangers being racist from the past, you done broke that down with this. You did it right. Then you go off and kill the Blue Ranger. It's like taking 10 steps back. I was like, what's wrong with you? That was uncalled for. But luckily, he was resurrected, and his sacrifice made the Power Rangers possible to morph into the Power Rangers. So in a way, they went real religious there. Kind of deep. Kudos. But now that I think about it, every time I see Billy, I'm like, you're really dead. You're like a zombie. A Power Ranger zombie. So, it's just weird. A Power Ranger zombie is pretty badass, though. And it's fitting, because he was the breakout star of the movie. He was the heart of the Power Rangers, and he's the embodiment of the Power Rangers. Yeah, so it was nice to see that the OG Rangers were at the end. They made a nice cameo. It was definitely a nice send-off. It was a nice way of passing the torch to the new team. And it was a way of addressing the old Twilight storyline of Tommy and Kimberly. They finally got together. And this brings us closure as die-hard fans. So definitely a nice touch to letting us know that Tommy Oliver will be in the next movie. Here's a quick history lesson for you guys that don't know. He was the guy that kicked the Power Rangers' ass in the past before they turned him into a good guy to fight evil. In the series Green with Evil, it was a 5-part episode. Some of my favorite episodes as a kid watching this. And I'm pretty interested to know what they're going to do with the storyline and how they're going to go about it. I mean, it says this DVD includes all 5 episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers story arc that introduced the world to the most popular Ranger of all time. And I agree. He's the freaking man. In conclusion, would I recommend this movie? Well, depends for who. For kids, they'll love it. If it's for Power Rangers outsiders, new to the Power Ranger world, yeah, some of them are already saying that it's great. As for me, growing up with Power Rangers, I consider myself a hardcore fan. But I know that there will be hardcore fans that won't like this movie, and I know why. Because there just wasn't enough action. There wasn't enough Power Rangers, them suiting up into the screen. Even though it was a 2-hour movie, it just felt incomplete, and I agree with that. But this is going to be part of 6 movies, and I think we'll think differently of it if you was to binge watch all of them together, and hopefully we get those movies to prove that. But as a standalone review, yeah, I just feel like it was a nice movie for all audiences, and it was just a tease for the hardcore. So I went in there with low expectations. I really wanted this movie to knock it out the park. And I think it set up the foundation. I like the direction it's going. I wasn't bored watching this movie. I enjoyed it. It was far from perfect, but far from bad. I think it was just all right. And, that being said, I'm going to give it personally a 6 out of 10. You might agree, you might disagree. That's the point of an opinion. It ain't a fact. But if you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. And let's talk about it. So, if you're new here and you made it to the end, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and let's talk about it below. If you liked the video, cool. If you didn't like the video, oh well. No hard feelings, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's your boy, Super King 64.